Hello class! So today we're going to be talking about figurative language and where we see it in Beowulf. So figurative language is when you use a word or phrase that does not have its normal everyday literal meaning. In this video we're going to go over several figurative language terms that appear in Beowulf. Our first term is going to be kennings, which is an Old English metaphorical description used to replace a noun. For example, in Beowulf, this corpse maker mongering death. So the word corpse maker is going to be our kenning. Using the term corpse maker is just more interesting to the reader, since it just gives a more vivid and descriptive image. The next term is hyperbole, which is an extreme exaggeration that is not meant to be taken seriously. For example, in Beowulf, nowhere on the broad earth was there anyone better to raise a shield or rule a kingdom. So it's just exaggerating there that there's no one better on the entire world that would be better to rule the kingdom than Beowulf. The next term is personification, which is giving human traits to inhuman things. Our example in Beowulf is, watch your boat down there on the strand, keep her safe in her fresh tar. So they're giving the boat human traits, even though it's just an object. The next term is imagery, which is using words that vividly appeal to the five senses. For example, in Beowulf, the dawn brightened and the day broke. So it's just giving that really descriptive image of the sun coming up. The next term is going to be metaphor, which is a direct comparison between two things without using the words like or as. Our example from Beowulf is, afterwards a boy child was born to shield a cub in the yard. So Beowulf is being described here as a cub in the yard, even though he's just a young child. And that's just to create a stronger image for the reader. Our final term is going to be simile, which is a comparison using like or as. So it's kind of similar to a metaphor, except you're using the phrase like or as. And our example from Beowulf is, every hail, claw, scale, and spur, every spike and welt on the hand of that heathen brute was like barbed steel. While this is more of a general rhetorical device as opposed to a figurative language term, the last term I want to talk about today is alliteration. I thought it was important to include this one because it's something we see a lot throughout Beowulf. Alliteration is the repetition of initial consonant sounds. Our example from Beowulf is, they wept to heaven and mourned under mourning, their mighty prince, etc., etc. There they're exaggerating the M sound, just to elongate it and draw your attention to it. Alright, well I hope you guys learned a lot about the different figurative language terms that we see used throughout Beowulf, and later in class we're going to be talking a little bit more about how the use of these figurative language terms affects the reading of Beowulf and enhances your reading experience of it. Alright, well thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in class.